pookies. I have a day off, so let's reset. When I say that took forever, I mean it. But okay, pause. Hi. That AC is really loud and it's probably gonna bother me. As you can probably see, this is not our usual backdrop. This isn't our usual surroundings. I'm actually in a hotel room right now. This is where I've been living for the past week, but we're gonna get into that in just a minute. First, hi, how are you guys? I miss you. All what, 7 of you? Miss you so much. Wait, why is my hair kind of getting actually? Anyways, so it's been a while. Like, let's talk. Let's go over what happened since I've been gone. It is currently August 30th, 2025. Crazy. Which means that I was gone for the summer, like I would do every year, and now it's time for the summer recap. I know you're so excited. Let's start with base overview. This summer, just like last summer, I worked at a church camp for the whole summer, which means that I moved in May 18th and I left August 10th. Yeah? Okay, great. It's a different church camp than it was last year. I worked at a cooler one this year. And it was amazing. So let's talk about my summer because I love talking about myself. Okay, top highlights. Made amazing friends, and still am in touch with them now, even 20 days. It's almost a month after camp ended, and we're still in touch. We're still in contact, and we're still like planning to hang out and meet up all the time. Got a new job, which is pretty cool. We'll go into that in just a little bit. I overcame my fear of heights, so I now run the zip line, like, officially. Whereas last year I could only run the bottom of the zip line, now I run the top of the zip line. It's so much fun. What else? Moved. But that didn't happen until after summer. And there's some crazy stories that happened. I just don't know which ones to share. I moved in the 18th of May. We did 2 weeks of training and kind of team bonding, and there were like 8 of us on staff. Not a whole lot, but it's okay because they were all amazing. And actually having like such a small staff made this summer go by way smoother. I feel like when we had more people on staff, like for a couple of weeks we had like volunteers, like a volunteer mission group come out, and I feel like that almost made it worse because we had too many people, and so people were confused on why they didn't have any work to do, but that's okay. I watched the new Superman movie. That was so good, guys. Love the Superman movie. Check the records. I did the rock wall. It's not as tall as the zip line, but I did that before I did the zip line. I got first aid CPR certified. Everybody at camp did, so now I can do that. Did the zip line. Got a boyfriend. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, that's basically all that happened. That's not like the insane stories that I don't want to. No, actually I do want to get into that. Let's get into those. So, okay. Here at this camp, we have like 5 weeks of overnight camps where the camp counselors get to run cabins and have cabins full of kids. So we did 3 elementary weeks and 2 middle school weeks. And then we had some extra things on the side where we had like a mini camp for like preschoolers and they just stayed one night, and then we had sunshine camp and family camp, and those were also awesome. But my week 1 went so great. One of my friends from back home came out and she was volunteering. Well, she didn't volunteer because she got paid, but she came out for that 1 week and she was my co-counselor, and it was great. The kids were awesome, super obedient, blah, blah, blah. Week 2 comes and it was also amazing. My kids, literally, we read like 7 whole books of the Bible that week. My kids were memorizing verses like crazy for their points, and it was amazing. It was so cool to see. They literally would ask so many questions every meal, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And it's a 6-day camp. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner almost every day for 6 days. We were reading a book of the Bible and then asking questions about it, and just our cabin around the table. It was amazing. And then also, crazy dichotomy, they were doing all of this while simultaneously threatening to eat my toes consistently every single day. It started like day 2. We were in the pool and they just, it flipped a switch. We got in the pool and then they liked feet. It was so scary, guys. They literally, we would be walking around and I'm walking in my sandals because we're going to the bathhouse to shower, so I'm wearing my shower shoes, and they go, ooh, feet, and they start lunging for me. No, ma'am. Back up right now. That was so frightening. Imagine 12, count them, 12 elementary school girls dive bombing for your feet. No. That was so scary. One of them at one point threatened to cut off my toes while I was sleeping and eat them. She said I should stay up late tonight because she knows where I sleep. In the same room, honey. We all sleep in the same room. What else? And then, okay, so week 2 ends and I'm like, great, no more feet. Week 3 is our middle school camp, and the middle schoolers get here, and then they did the same thing. They threatened to eat my toes. They really liked feet. It was weird. I don't know how this keeps happening to me. And so since they kept threatening to eat my feet, whenever they did something wrong, I threatened to eat their suitcase, which I thought was funny. Or, like, one of my girls really liked her pit vipers, and so I threatened to eat her pit vipers if she didn't stop doing something, and then she stopped. Actually, let's talk. If you are ever a camp counselor and you are working with middle schoolers, especially middle school girls, what you need to learn how to do is manipulate them.
Calling the police! Hello? Yes, this video right here. Jail time.
Okay? And I know it sounds so bad. It sounds so bad and so mean and so unchristlike, but hear me out. Hear me out. Please, listen. Listen, please. I started doing this last year with my elementary schoolers at my old camp, where if they are mean to you, you just threaten to start crying. And it becomes so awkward that they stop doing what they're doing. And it's important to note, like, if you're working as a camp counselor, your job is not teacher. Like, you're not supposed to be professional, right? This is like, you're friends with them, you're mentoring them, and you're like building a friendly relationship with them. You're not like strict teacher, like rigor, like me and my campers stayed up late joking and watching movies on the last night, and like I think out of everyone, and this isn't like conceited, but I think out of everyone I had the best relationship, like out of the girls I had the best relationship with my campers, and my campers were the most obedient because I wasn't as strict with them. And that sounds like weird, like if you don't lay down the rules, then they're going to just walk all over you. But that's not what happened, because what I do is first day of camp, everybody gets moved in. I'm like, great, we're moved in, come over here, and we're going to talk about rules and expectations. And I have a poster, and I keep it on my wall of my cabin, and it says rules and expectations and reminders. And I'll go down the list, and I'll make them read them out loud. And then I ask them, what do you think this rule means? What do you think this rule means? And I explain why we have the certain rules that we have. And I explain, like, these are the expectations, and if you don't follow these expectations, this is what can't happen. Like, if you don't drink water, then you're going to get sick. It's 110 degrees out. If you don't drink water, you're going to become dehydrated and pass out. And I'm not carrying you back up the canyon, so you better drink water. Like, that's how I start my expectations, I guess. And then from there on, you can literally just have fun with them. You can just have fun with the kids. And it makes small groups better, for one, because they trust you. And it makes trying to put them to bed easier. It makes putting them to bed easier most of the time because they respect you. And that's why you should manipulate your children, because once you have that like friendly respect and relationship with them, then what I did for my week 3 kids is they came and they told me, yeah, last year we made our counselor cry, and then I'm pretty sure she quit. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And so I literally told them on the first day of camp, if you make me cry, I will quit my job right then and there, and you will have to go home. And so then from then on, the rest of the week, 6 days, 5 nights of this camp, these girls, anytime that they did something that was like past the line, like we can joke around and we can have fun, but if they went way past the line of like disrespect or not following instructions or like wasting time and not getting to where we need to go, I would just start crying. I would just start crying. And they noticed. And then they'd go, wait, everybody, she's about to cry. Everybody stop. And then they stopped. And they fixed their behaviors. I'm not saying it works with all kids, but I'm saying it works with middle school girls. That and threatening to eat their things. Like, I threatened to eat one girl's clothes from her suitcase. I threatened to eat one girl's dreadlocks. I threatened to eat one girl's pit vipers. I threatened to eat my coworker's fans because she loves her little box fans and she had like 5 of them. And then she made me lose one of the games so we didn't get the points, and I said, I'm gonna eat your fans. And it was hilarious. And like, am I actually gonna eat anybody's things? No. That's weird. Does it baffle them so much that they stop their behavior? Yup. It's wonderful. You should try it. I highly encourage it. Anyways, so then, all that to say, feet? No. week 4 comes, and it's my middle school camp as well. And I'm being so serious when I say we're in the gym. The campers are like coming in and they're checking in, and then they go to the gym to hang out. They get to the gym and they go, and like two of my campers, one of them comes up to me and she points to her friend and she goes, by the way, she has a foot fetish. And I'm like, what do you mean? That's 3 weeks. 3 weeks in a row. And I never even brought it up. They just keep organically having like foot obsessions. So I had to add it to the rule board that they're not allowed to touch my feet or other people's feet. I also had to add to the rule board that you have to walk in the dining hall on 2 feet because one girl decided she was going to crawl to get her lunch. And she was in like 6th grade. And so I had to add to the rule board, walk on 2 feet in the dining hall. And so week 5 comes. This is the last week. So last week of camp, counselors are tired. They're chill. They're going to let you do whatever you want. I just need you to know that. Not really. Like, I still have rules and expectations for my kids. But I mostly just let them do whatever they want. And on the last day of camp, they decided they were going to break every single rule that was on my rule board because it was the last day of camp, and what was I going to do? Send them home? They're leaving in 2 hours anyways. That was their logic. That's exactly what they said. And so they broke all of the rules, including touching people's feet. They played this game late at night where they had to... Oh no, this was actually week 4. I let them pull an all-nighter. I slept. I said, don't leave the cabin and don't start barking until I'm asleep. That's another rule I had to add to the rule board, was do not make animal sounds past 10 p.m. It was really weird. And I am trying to fall asleep, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just hear them say, ooh, let's play this game. And they all sit in a circle on the floor, and they close their eyes and put one foot in the circle. And they close their eyes and grab someone's foot and try and guess whose it is. That's so weird. Why would you do that? Anyways, and so then the next day they were like, we have to break every single rule now. And so that was one of them. And then instead of walking through the dining hall, they frog jumped. They played leapfrog through the entirety of the dining hall to get their breakfast. And I made them commit. They said, oh, we're going to break every rule. I said, okay, you better commit. Like, actually do it. You can't flake. You can't just do it once. You have to through the whole dining hall. Okay? Anyways, and so then they did that. Week 5 comes. They also are obsessed with feet. 4 out of 5 weeks. That's 80% of my campers liked toes. Anyways, so that's how my summer went. So let's address the elephant in the room. I'm in a hotel. Like I said, I've been living here for 6 days. Wait. This is my 7th day of this room. And here's why, okay? I worked at the summer camp, and this church camp is actually also a retreat center, so they do like camps all year round. So I didn't want to go back home or like move back home, and so I decided to like try and get a job working the church camp year round. And so I got the job, and they said, okay, we're gonna send you home for 2 weeks. We're gonna get your living arrangements ready, and you'll live at camp and you'll work at camp. And so I went home for 2 weeks, and I got all the stuff that I needed for the apartment that I was gonna be living in. It's like a studio apartment, but it doesn't have a kitchen or anything other than a bathroom and a main room. It's like literally just empty room and then bathroom. And so I got all of the stuff that I would need to live full-time in a house that doesn't have a built-in kitchen. And I get here after 2 weeks, and they're like, hey, actually your place isn't ready, we're gonna have you stay in the hotel. And so this hotel is at camp, I'm at camp right now in one of the hotel rooms they have here for their like fancier retreats, or like sometimes they'll have pastors come and stay here so that they can have like little retreats, and I think I'm in the pastor room right now actually. And I was like, okay, and they said it'd be for like 3 days maximum. So the next morning I go to work and they're like, hey, so here's what's happening, and they like rearranged the living situation because of some staff like that are leaving later this year. And so there were 2 people living in one like actual house, and one of them is no longer going to be working here soon. And then there was me and this other girl, and we would have like, she lives in one of the apartments, and then I was going to live in another one of the apartments. And so they're taking the boys out of their house and putting them in the place where I was going to live, and they're taking me and this other girl and putting them in the boys' house, because there's 2 girls and now there's only going to be 1 boy. So they've been moving like all week, and so I've been staying in the hotel, and that's okay because things happen. And I'm actually about to go move some of my stuff in right now. The bedrooms are empty. It's just like they're getting their furniture out. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So I live and work full-time at a church camp as a guest services tech, which basically means that I clean, I serve meals, I help in the kitchen when needed, and I run activities like zipline, rock wall, pool, lake, milk crate challenge, etc. And basically just do like whatever people need me to do, which is awesome. And yeah, so with that being said, I don't have like scheduled days off. It's basically just whenever we don't have retreat groups and we're done with the work for the day, we just are done. So today's actually a scheduled day off. I don't have any work to do today. It is 12:16. So I slept in until like 9ish, showered, washed my hair, cleaned and reset my room, and then because it's almost September, I got my bullet journal ready and I did my Bible reading, and I have a couple of other things on my to-do list for today. But yeah, so I just wanted to come on and like recap. Here's how my summer went. It was amazing. If you guys ever feel called to work at a church camp, you should. Don't question it. Just do it. It's a great experience, even if you decide that you never want to do that ever again. Because you form such amazing, deep connections with the people that you work with, because you're working and living with them at the same time. And it's almost like a college experience, I assume. I never went to college. And then you also like have a lot of fun in your job. You get like, if you work as a counselor like I did, you get to like just dance around, teach people about Jesus, do silly skits and games, and make friendship bracelets and stay up late talking about boys, and it's so wonderful. And you get to literally impact kids' lives in a way that you never even imagined. And if you don't work as a counselor, you still get to impact people's lives. One of my friends worked cleaning crew, and she had people coming up to her all the time saying, "We appreciate what you do, like, thank you so much for serving us so well, and you always do it with a smile on your face." And so it really does, like, matter. Like, the things that people do matter, and, like, people see the background work as well as, like, the foreground, okay? Anyways, I got off track, but that's because my script is literally, it says summer recap and then what now, and then there's a third point that I never filled out. So that's literally the script for the video. Yeah, I'm going to try to continue posting videos, recording and editing when I get the chance. Might do some vlogs. I'm scared of recording in front of people. I feel like that's so awkward, but I'm gonna try. And like whenever I get the chance. Only thing is, like, I'm gonna have a roommate. Like right now I'm in the hotel and there's no one else in the hotel. There's a couple of people staying here because there's a wedding going on right now, which is so cute, but they're actually already at the wedding. And so I'm the only person in this entire building, so I don't feel like, I assume, so I don't feel uncomfortable like talking out loud. But my bedroom and my roommate's bedroom are like right next to each other, so that might be a little bit awkward. Also, I never really have like alone time anymore because I'm always either working or hanging out with my roommate or hanging out with my boyfriend, and so it just like I don't really like take time to myself. I need to do that. Anyways, yeah. So that's basically the video. Just here's what happened, here's what's happening now, here's what's going to happen. We're gonna try for like 1 or 2 videos a month. We're gonna really try, including like book recaps. Actually, book haul real quick because I got some new ones. Guys, that's something I wanted to talk about. I might talk about that in another video so I can keep making content. I got a couple books. This is The Well-Watered Woman by Gretchen Saffels. I've heard really good things about it, and it's like not like a self-help book, but it's like how to grow in Jesus basically, and like be rooted in faith and whatever. And then I got, this book is called Come Home. It's by Tim Sheets and Rachel Schaefer. For like, if you are a Christian and you have like a family member or a friend or something who like left the faith and is living not well, this is like a book to help you learn how to pray over them, and pray for them to come home. So I have this for one of my family members who, well, a couple actually, who have abandoned the faith. And then, guys, this is Lockwood & Co. This is The Screaming Staircase, book 1. The show on Netflix, phenomenal. It's about ghosts. It's about ghost hunting. It's also British, but it's about ghost hunting, and it's so great. I literally never seen like a supernatural show this unique. It's literally like nothing you've ever seen before. And so I got the book. This is thick. I'm excited. And then I got The Love Dare. I'm pretty sure my parents have this. I went to a Christian bookstore. It was so phenomenal. I actually got one more thing there that I want to show you. But it's actually for marriage. But I got it anyways. I'd like to read it before I get married and then after I get married and see what happens. Oh, I need to put this back on. So this is a bracelet that my friend made me, actually. And I got this bracelet. It says tap to pray. I literally can tap it with my phone and it pulls up a daily verse and a daily prayer. Isn't that so cool? So, I have a couple video ideas for what's next, but that's basically it. I just wanted to come on and say hi, and I didn't forget about you, and I miss you and love you all so much. So with that being said, I'm gonna go unpack my car. Yeah, this is the update. This is what's happening now. and I'm really excited for the season to come.